Hi, Julie. Don Green, DG Digital Services. It was really nice meeting you earlier on. And like I mentioned, I'd just do a really quick 10 to 15 minute site audit for you so you can get a bit of an idea what it is I do and what we might be able to do, or you might be able to do, to look after your own site if you have someone to do that. So as you can tell, obviously this is your own site. So very straightforward. You've got some pages. I like this little drop down. That's good. What I don't see here, see if you had a phone number here, a clickable phone number that is, because let's just go down to the very bottom. So you have it here as well, but it's not clickable. I can't hover over that and where the little hand would come up to say it's clickable. So if you were to insert a number here on this on your home page there and make it a clickable number, what would happen is, because the majority of people who do the searches today, they like to use their mobile device. So let's just say that was the phone number. If once you see how that hand comes up, if that was the number here and the hand come up, all they'd have to do is tap their screen on their phone and they're in touch with you immediately. So just something simple like that can really help because if somebody has to actually look for the number, you've already lost half the people that visit you. And then if they have to literally write this number into their phone, you've lost another half. Okay, so people are lazy. There's no other way about it. So, and they just like simple, and they like it now. So we just give them a clickable number here. So when they find it on their phone, it's easily to do. The other thing that I can talk about here is content. Like I mentioned, Google likes authoritative content on the home page in regard to your trade, your business, and your skill set. So I did do a word count, and you had 98 words on your home page. Google like to have at least 1,000 to 1,500 words of authoritative content on someone's homepage, because when people do a search on Google, their job is to get the best results for that end user and with the most authoritative content to explain what they do. So like I say, so you have 98 words of content there. I did have a quick look at your opposition. In this case, it is Juicebox, and they had 628. And the good news there is that's absolutely beatable. So they're not really even at the minimum what they need. But obviously, with other people in your industry, they're not and do not have a huge amount of content either. So if we could create some content followed up with some really good keywords that we could put through that, that's going to make a big difference. And this title here, this is what I would call the H1 tag, probably the H2, the H3 being your content itself. So this here is really important to Google. So this is what you want to have as a really good keyword that is relevant to you and what you do in your industry. So this isn't terrible, but I didn't check the relevance of the keyword itself. But people would have to be putting in the search bar strategic branding, but that alone is a national keyword. It's not local. So, and then we could come up with another keyword phrase here that would be H2, and then obviously we could pepper some through there. But yeah, this H1 tag on all the pages and whatnot, they're really important. So what we do is do a lot of research for the proper keywords and get everything that is being searched so we can use it within your content. Like if I just had a quick look at your back end of your website, this is what comes up. So the other thing that I'd like to talk about is the backlinks, like I mentioned. I have thinking that you have an understanding of a backlink. So this to me is a good way to explain a backlink. So this is on somebody else's website, but it's got your URL on it, and see how it highlights. So if I was to click on that would take me straight back to your home page. Okay, so it's clicking on that is linking back to your own website. So therefore, it's known as a backlink. This is a global ranking. It's saying that you're knowing 18.7 millionth as a global ranking. Your DR, which is your domain rating, which is from 0 to 100, is at a 10. So that's a really good start. And you have 197 backlinks coming from 11 different domains. Okay, so from 11 different websites. You can see that you've recently had 335, and overall since you started 768. So this shows you that they do fall away on a continual basis. So the maintenance of these is important, and the ratio should be no more than 7 links per site coming back. So I don't, this is just an average. You can't really look at, to say that you got the same amount to each site, but for these, you're getting up to like 18, 19 per site, where it really should be no more than 7 to keep the power coming from it. You have 60 keywords on your site. So if I just had a quick look at that, freelance graphic designers Perth. This here is a monthly intake. So there's 90 searches per month for that keyword. It has a keyword difficulty of 2. Once again, this is from 0 to 100. So 0 to 3 is quite achievable and quick turnaround to get it ranked for that. You get 3.5 jobs per month for this term, and you are in position 8. Okay, so this one's the same, except it has no S on designer. 70 searches, 2.3. You're still on position 9. So you've got a couple there on page 1. But then it goes into page 2, page 3. Page 3, page 4, and so on, page 5 for these ones. The good thing is that you've got a Perth written on a lot of the back of these keywords, okay? So that's what keeps it local. If that was like freelance graphic design and without the Perth, then that would be the result of the entire nation's search for that. But because it's got Perth, that keeps it local, which is a good thing. If I just took you for a really quick look at the back end of your oppositions, you can see that they're ranked like 190,000 in the world. They have a domain rating of 63, which is quite powerful. But you can see here they've got just over 92,000 backlinks coming from 375 different sites. So that's a lot of links for this small amount of sites, really. So they're really drawing a lot of power, which would make them quite weak but depending on how many they've got on each, obviously. But they do have 652 keywords. So if I just had a really quick look at theirs, Juicebox, obviously they're getting a lot of traffic and ranking for. Okay, so they're getting 162 jobs, or not jobs, but they're getting 162 calls or whatever per month for that word, 44. So see, advertising agency Perth. So they've done really well there, and they're ranked #1. Perth again, #1. So even so they're doing really well there, we can actually see what the really good keywords would be to use, and the difficulty it would be to use for ranking them. So even so, that's quite overwhelming to some people. Everything's achievable, if you have time and effort. That can definitely be achievable, and you can slowly, like I mentioned, you just keep on adding to your site, and you'll get better notice and traction for that. So, and the other thing I'll mention is citations. So, if I was just to open up like Google here, and I just put branding agency Perth. See these tops, the ads? These are Google ads, so people are paying Google to be there. Okay, so they're there only because you're paying Google to be there. Once you stop giving Google money, you lose that position. And for example, they could be there for certain keywords to be found, and at the moment, that keyword is branding agency Perth. So they've actually paying for some. If I click on that, that might cost them $20. And that's what people do. Sometimes they keep clicking on it, and then the person has to pay, and they're not really getting any job. So this here is what I mentioned, the map pack, and this is due to your Google registration. And people who are registered with Google, they're the only people you'll find in the map pack. And then it's the organics. Okay, so this is page 1. So to get here, this is you power your site through the backlinks and everything. But once you're in this top 3, and you're in the top 3 of the map pack as well, you're gaining a lot of traction with the incoming calls and things like that, because they would probably get 87% of all the calls, all these 3 to 6 businesses there. Okay, so I know it is quite a simple way to look at it, but it does give you a reference point to look at for your own site, and to maybe think about what you might want to be doing if you wanted to power up or help a customer to get a little bit more traction online, opposed to sort of like also doing your little bit here. So if any of this helps, that's fantastic. If you have someone that you could give this information to, I recommend you do that. If you need to know any more about it, feel free to call and ask any questions. I'm happy to help no matter what. So, like I mentioned, so if you need anything, I'm right here. So once again, Don Green, DG Digital Services, and you have yourself a great day.